What's up, everybody? This is GreyMan here. How is everybody doing today? Hopefully well. So today we're going to go to 10 things to buy every time you shop in regards to building your prepper pantry. I got a bunch of emails over the last couple of weeks, and I'm working through all of them, so I appreciate your time as I get through them. But a lot of questions that I've asked, that have reached out to me have said, you know, what should I get when I'm at the grocery store? What kind of things should I buy? And so on and so forth. So again, these prompt me to do videos in regards to things like this to answer some of these questions, and hopefully this list will help you. And also, if you stay for the entirety of the video, I'm also going to go to 10 bonus items as well, and they're going to be more item specific than the original list that I'm going to go over now. So let's kind of dive into this and see where we go with it. You know what I mean? And as always, please give this video a thumbs up. If you're not subscribed, please subscribe. And if you get any value in content on this, please drop a comment below and anything that you would add to this list, as well as what you enjoy mostly about the channel. So moving forward, let's kind of dive into this. The first one is going to be fresh produce. So you're saying, Gray, this is not a specific item. Correct. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over a broad version of what I'm talking about, and then kind of give you a little bit of some of the things that you can put under that list, so you can diversify your pantry, and also kind of touch on what you can do with this. So a little different than some of the lists that I've done, but we're going to go a little deeper into this broad topic and then kind of break it down a little bit, and hopefully this is going to give you some great ideas for your prepper pantry. All right, so as I stated, number one is fresh produce. If you do not have a garden, or if you're not self-sufficient in that aspect and you buy most of your produce at the store, these are things that you should be picking up. So I got here on my list, I got apples, bananas, strawberries, avocados, bell peppers, carrots, garlic, lemons and limes, onions, parsley, cilantro, potatoes, spinach, and tomatoes, just to name a few. Some people say, Gray, well, you know, produce doesn't last that long. Well, what you can do with some of this produce, there's many different things that you can do with produce, outside of just drying some of it, you know, not freeze drying, but, you know, dehydrating some of this produce, freezing some of this produce, you know, turning some of this produce into, like, let's say the onions and onion powder, after you dry it out and whatnot. Also, you can do some canning with some of this produce, so that it lasts a lot longer than just buying produce and letting it sit on your, let's say, your rack or whatever that you use for produce. So hopefully that'll kind of give you an idea what I mean by fresh produce, because some people, like, you know, like I said, they're going to come at me and be like, hey, well, you know, produce is great now, but you can take apples and slice them in thin slices, put them in your dehydrator and have apple chips. You know, you can turn certain other things like bell peppers and not freeze dry. I keep on saying freeze dried, but dehydrate them, and then keep them in a, you know, nice sealed, vacuum sealed jar, or, you know, something where there's not oxygen getting to it. Cilantro, parsley, and all those other things like that. Those are herbs that you can use. And some people freeze them. You can extend the life. You can't freeze everything, but you can freeze certain things. So when it comes to this list, you know, kind of dive into it and see what works best for you. And these are just things to possibly add on your shopping list. So moving on to number two, baking goods. Baking goods can come in all different forms and sizes. But we'll go ahead and dive into this. A little bit of I call it the sub list. Stuff like baking powder, baking soda, sugar, brown sugar, flour, honey, vanilla, dry yeast, chocolate chips, cocoa powder, and powdered sugar. So, you know, think about what you would need to go through certain situations long term. So if you know, let's say you have baking powder, and a lot of these things you saw disappear off the shelves over the last year, when all the panic buying became a thing, because a lot of people were stuck in their homes and doing a lot of baking, so things disappeared. So that being said, you know, like I said, yeast, you know, the sugars, the vanillas, all these different things like that when it comes to baking goods are so extremely important, and they store for a long time. You know, I've done a lot of videos on this in regards to how to store some of these products, you know, be it, you know, if you're buying in bulk, you can do 1 gallon buckets, 5 gallon buckets, however that you want to store these. Some people, you know, will vacuum seal packages, you know, and all this other stuff like that. There's a lot of different methods, and there's a lot of different YouTube videos on these methods. But if you want, like I said, peruse the channel. I have videos out there in regards to some of these techniques. You know, and like I said, honey is one of those, you know, things that you can shelve indefinitely. Have plenty of it. It makes a great additive for sugars, if you want to add it to some sort of recipes and things like that. Go beyond just what I'm saying and do some research on each of these little specific topics. Moving on to number 3, which to me I feel like a lot of people miss this, and then their food becomes bland. in the aspect, but condiments. Number 3 is going to be condiments. Condiments is a wide variety of range, and I'm going to go over some of the ones that I've written down that I have on my shopping list. Stuff like black powder, chili powder, cinnamon, crushed red peppers, cumin, garlic powder, ketchup, mustard, mayo, nutmeg, paprika, salt like sea salt, coarse, kosher salt, soy sauce, steak sauce, buffalo sauce, salad dressings, just to name a few. And the reason I'm going over like the main list and these sub lists is just to kind of, not just throw out like the topic condiment and spices without giving you some ideas to kind of spark those the creative juices flowing, so that you can kind of like put something together and write this stuff down. You can put, okay, fresh produce, these are things that work for my family. I can do this with the cucumbers, I can do this with apples, and so on and so forth. Even bananas, you can make banana chips as well. You can freeze bananas and then make banana pudding. You kind of get what I'm saying, right? So number 3 is condiments and spices. Don't forget spices and condiments, specifically spices. You want to give that food some flavor outside of just having plain white rice and some plain beans. You know what I mean? Add some garlic powder, some cumin, get some stuff in there, man. All right, moving on to number 4, grains. Grains. Stuff like breadcrumbs, pastas, quinoa, rice, wheat bread, even flour tortillas. I have had flour tortillas in my pantry for over 6 months. What I've done is I vacuum sealed them to preserve their freshness, and every 6 months we rotate them. But I do a lot of things with flour tortillas in the aspect of breakfast burritos. Who doesn't love a breakfast burrito, with some eggs and some peppers and onions and cheese and stuff like that on there? Phenomenal. Add a little salsa and guacamole, man, packs a punch for a nice breakfast. All right, so moving on to number 5, my apologies, is freezer stuff. And the reason I put freezer under its own section, because there's a lot of things that you can freeze, specifically stuff like berries, corn, broccoli, juice concentrates, beef, chicken, frozen pizza if you have to, bacon, shrimp, puff pastries, cookie dough, pie crust. These are all things that you can buy frozen and keep in your freezer, especially if you have a deep freezer, as I call it, an overflow freezer for outside of your normal freezer. And these things can come in super handy. I keep a bag of blueberries and raspberries in the freezer all the time, because I'll take them and I'll throw them in my oatmeal, I'll throw them in my yogurt, all the different types of foods that I eat, just to add a little bit of extra to that, and they keep for quite some time, specifically in the freezer. All right, so moving on to number 6, olives. Olives. Man, where does your mind go, Gray? I'm thinking of olive oil because that's what I used to cook my breakfast this morning. But anyways, oils and vinegars. This is number 6. Apple cider vinegar, balsamic vinegar, coconut oil, olive oil, one of my favorites, vegetable and canola oil, red wine vinegar, white wine vinegar, cooking wines, and so on and so forth. They can come in handy. And a lot of you folks out there know, you guys have written me in the comments below and stuff like that, and you're welcome to share them again with the rest of the subscribers that may be interactive down there in the chat, or not the chat, but the comment section below, is the things that you can do with vinegar. Vinegar can come in handy for just outside of just using it to do certain things with it, medicinally and for food. So again, number 6 is oils and vinegars. It's nice to have some of these good fats like olive oil and stuff like that. All right, moving on to number 7. Number 7 is going to be basically meat and protein. You got to have, outside of your carbs and your vegetables, you want to have a well-rounded diet. So meats and proteins come in extremely handy, and this is going to be my number 7. Stuff like chicken, eggs, ground beef, ground turkey, lunch meats, and so on and so forth. Bacon and all the other things like that. And when it comes to stuff like chicken and stuff like that, again, coming back to the freezer aspect of things, you can freeze these meats and these proteins. If you have access to a local farm where you can get eggs, I think Jam in the Nut House is offering eggs down in the Discord link to people that are close to her, because eggs that you get from that you have on the farm, or that you grab from yourself outside of your, let's say, your chicken coop or whatnot, have a lot longer shelf life than the eggs that you buy at the store. Another option is, like, say, powdered eggs. You can buy those from a lot of different manufacturers, as I call it. Like, let's say down below, if you want to, this is up to you, selfish, shameless plug, but down below I have a nutrient survival link. Try their powdered eggs. They're packed with nutrients. You can use the code down below on my affiliate link and use that code to click over onto them. Use that code, get their powdered eggs. So not only you're having eggs, which taste really good, but you also have the nutrients that they've added to that. So you're getting a bonus when it comes to stuff like that. So go check out that link if you get a chance. All right, where am I at, Gray? Number 8, dairy. Dairy. I have stuff on here like butter, sliced cheese, shredded cheese, milk, sour cream, and Greek yogurt. Now, I know some people are going to, like I said, I like to, kind of cover my bases when it comes to this. When it comes to dairy products, sometimes you have to think outside the box. When it comes to butter, you can use something like ghee, which is just, and you guys know it's like the way how they make ghee. You can make this out of butter. I've been told by multiple people how to process butter into ghee, and ghee can have almost an indefinite shelf life as well. But do your research in regards to that. You can, like the cheeses and the milks and stuff like that, even the sour creams, they make freeze-dried versions of this. Outside of that, I wish I had an affiliate link to Augustin's Farm because they have great ingredient-based freeze-dried foods. I can look over there and just see some of the ones that I have right now. I have tomato powder, I have, whole eggs, chopped onions, what else I got? I got chocolate milk, I have regular milk. All kinds of things like that. My apologies for looking that way, but I put some stuff over there as a wall to give me reference when I'm talking to you folks out there in the YouTube verse. So dairy, think about dairy. Now some folks, if they may have a cow, they may have a goat on their farm. If you have that option, that is awesome. Goat's milk and cow's milk and all the other options that you may have. Shout out to the milkmaid. Yeah. Pardon me. Moving on to number 9. Number 9 should be a staple in everybody's pantry. I mean, this should be a key prepper thing on your list every single time you go to the grocery store, especially if there's buy one get one deals, especially if they're on sale, is canned and dried goods. Number 9, canned and dried goods. I'd like to reiterate that. So this is like chicken stock and broth, salsas, diced tomatoes, jams, jellies, peanut butter, pasta sauce, black beans, soups, tunas, all this stuff like that. And if you guys know, you can go to we just had this discussion not too long ago, and maybe I'll bring it up in one of the lives or do a video on it. But there is a lot of misinformation right there. Go to, matter of fact, Alaska Prepper Rudy did a great video on this in regards to canned goods and their shelf life and how it goes way beyond what it states on those canned goods. They try to give you the fear of botulism and stuff like that, but if you look at the history and the statistics of that, it's far and few between. Just notice how to look at a can, if it's dented, if it's bulging, the smell, and so on and so forth. But do some research. Canned and dried goods can last an extremely long time, especially if properly stored in a cool, dark, dry place, especially when it comes to other stuff like that. You know what I mean? So just like I said, I've done videos on this. You're more than welcome to check out the videos I've done, and other content creators have done this as well that are a lot bigger than I am. All right, moving on to number 10, snacks. All right, and what I mean by snacks is do not forget your snacks, especially if you have small children, even teenagers, even for yourself. If you're in a situation where you don't have access to certain things, let's say like the folks down in Louisiana, my prayers go out to you folks as always. I'm hoping that you guys will be able to recover fast and everybody has God looking upon them. And sorry for you folks that are not religious, but you kind of get what I'm going with that. But snacks. And what I mean by snacks is like crackers, nuts, quick oats, popcorn, tortilla chips, cereals, some candies, hard candies that last the longest. If you want to you can even do some chocolates and stuff like that. Puddings and so on and so forth. But snacks. And some of those are sweet snacks and some of those are more like, like the peanuts and stuff like that. Maybe some almonds, mixture of sunflower seeds and all that fun stuff like that to give you a little bit of extra boost in protein and nutrients. So please do not forget your snacks when, at the grocery store and building your prepper pantry. And the reason behind this list is to give everybody some talking points and aspect of where they should look at, what they should do. And I don't mean you have to buy this every single time, but if you could either print something like this out, I can try to put a list together and type something up for you guys if that'll help. If so, please either let me know in Discord personally. You can DM me in Discord. You can email me, which I'm trying to get through all those emails, so I do apologize if I haven't reached out to you yet. I've got a lot of things I'm going through. I'm a bit behind, about a week and a half behind on emails, but I'm getting there and processing as I'm getting things done. But I can try to put some sort of list together that you can reference and use. And this is the reason I want to build my website here soon. That's in the process, but that's down the road. And Gray, you're kind of going off topic. Anyways, folks, so now that you got this list, I want to go over to the bonus list. Now, these are more item specific. And the reason I put this list together is because this is more of a health crisis list per se. Things that disappear a lot in regards to this. So this is like a little bonus addition to this video. And I wanted to go over some of those things that I have for you. And I'm going to slide this list over real quick for myself. Number one on this bonus list, and I got 10 of them, and I'm going to try to move through them pretty quickly, and some of them might be a little bit what's it called, redundant, but these are the things that I noticed that disappeared during the health crisis, things that disappeared during natural disasters and emergencies. So it's something to pay a little bit closer attention to outside of just produce when you're at the grocery store, or not produce, but your normal day-to-day shopping that you do. So number one is toilet paper. And going beyond toilet paper, I also talk about, let's say toilet paper, baby wipes, what's it called? Paper towels and all your paper goods and stuff like that, if you kind of get where I'm going with that. So number one is going to be toilet paper and your paper goods. Don't forget to always stock up on those and add those to your prepper pantry, and so on and so forth as well. Number two, I want to reiterate baking soda. And the reason I want to reiterate number two is baking soda is because it has so many uses outside of cooking, baking, health, cleaning, homemade products such as deodorants, toothpaste. It just is very versatile. So having a lot of baking soda on hand, and it's because it's the versatility of it, it's definitely a true bonus to add to this list. Number three, and the reason like I said, I'm being a bit redundant, but number three is going to be white vinegar. It also can be used for many applications, such as cleaning, or you can mix it with baking soda for washing clothes, cleaning tubs, and so on and so forth. It's just another one of those versatile things that you should stock up on. Number four bonus, bonus number four, there we go. Toothbrushes. They're very inexpensive, and everybody usually enjoys having one. And besides some of the other things that people use toothbrushes for, I've seen people do some crazy things with toothbrushes, but that's another thing. I don't want to go down that path. But they're so cheap. Just have an abundance of toothbrushes. Maybe you have family members that come over. Maybe someone that needs. Maybe you want to build a care package. Stock up on toothbrushes. They're a very cheap thing that you can stock up. They don't take much space, and just have a nice assortment of toothbrushes, even some with soft bristles, some with more coarse bristles, and so on and so forth. Diversify your toothbrushes, what works best for you and your family members, and then have some extras for the other folks. It's just something nice. Number five, to add to that, bonus number five is going to be toothpaste, deodorant, shampoos, toiletries, and feminine needs. Don't forget feminine needs. A lot of preppers, male preppers specifically, don't ever add that into their list. And if women don't have access to certain things, it can be very detrimental to their health beyond just the sanitary aspect. So please don't forget stuff like your feminine needs. And like I said, deodorant and shampoos, you want to be clean. It prevents stuff like infection and getting sick and so on and so forth. So, you want to stock up on stuff like that, like toothpaste, like I said, shampoos and deodorants and soaps. And again, like I said, don't forget your feminine needs. Ladies, hopefully that you'll thank Grey for throwing that in there as an extra, as a bonus. Bonus number six, batteries. Whenever you see batteries on sale, grab them. You don't know how often they're going to come in handy. Batteries are for so many different things, and you can do much more things with batteries. You can even start, if you know how to use it properly, you can use batteries to start fires, like the 9 volts used in conjunction with, now that I'm trying to say it, it's gonna besiege me. But steel wool. So steel wool and a 9 volt battery, you guys seen how that works. Also by taking 2 leads of a battery, and you can heat up an element to, start a fire. But beyond that, batteries in all different sizes. If you A's, B's, C's, D's, 9 volts, even some 12 volt batteries. Specifically if you have stuff like lanterns and flashlights and weather radios and all the other things that take those things, you might want to have a backup of those. If you can, get the rechargeables, but batteries in general. And then every time you buy some and use some, just keep them in a rotation. If you want to write, I take a black marker, write on the front of that a bigger date so it's easy to see, to keep those batteries in rotation. All right, bonus number 7, sanitizers and soaps. You want to make the use of stuff like essential oils, with the baking soda and the vinegars, but you also want to stock up on, certain things for the family when it comes to that stuff like that. Like I said, don't forget stuff like your laundry soaps. You can get like the borax, the more powdered stuff, liquid soaps, dish soaps, and things like that. Having an abundant supply of that will prevent you from having to, if you get stuck at home, prevent you from going out and getting other things. You want a way to clean your dishes, and if before you go on using some of your other stuff that you have in your prepper pantry, if you have a stockpile of stuff like dish soaps and laundry soaps and all the things that are associated with that, you will not have to go out and face things, let's say mass crowds, long lines, possibly civil unrest and things like that. Things to think about, folks. Number eight to me, bonus number 8 is a big bonus, is underwear, socks, and undergarments. Having some of these things, if you, like I said, if you happen to be in the grocery store, some of these mega stores, let's say like what is it, the Target, the massive big Targets, the huge Walmarts and grocery stores and stuff like that, or like that where you buy some groceries, peruse those sections. See if there's underwear, socks, and all the different types of undergarments you may have. If they're on sale, if they're on clearance, check them out, grab them. It's nice to have extra beyond what you use on a daily basis. During a long-term shift, these things will wear out. These things will wear out over time between your movement, things that you're doing. So you want to have these as backups as well. It's always good to have I don't know if you've ever opened a fresh bag of socks and be like, man, this is so comfortable to have those brand new fresh socks on your feet. All right, bonus number 9. This is being with my history as a, in the Army as a medic, this is super important, especially in certain situations, like the folks down there in the hurricane situation. I got to report that even the fire stations and some of their situations down there were flooded. So those rescue folks are not going to be able to get to those other folks until they resolve the issue with them. So bonus number 9 is going to be bandages, first aid items, stuff like Epsom salt, for detoxifying and pain relieving baths, hydrogen peroxide, alcohol, all different shapes and sizes of Band-Aids, all your little things like that. And bonus number 10 is going to wrap into this. But don't forget, like I said, bandages, Band-Aids, anything that you can think that are first aid items. Moving into my final bonus one is bonus number 10. Stuff like over-the-counter medications, let's say like Benadryl. Benadryl can be used for sleep, allergic reactions, and allergies and whatnot. If you use other over-the-counter medications that you use on a consistent basis, let's say ibuprofen, acetaminophen, stuffer, gas and diarrhea, things that you're thinking are pop up, the triple antibiotic ointments, hydrocortisone creams, and so on and so forth, burn gels, anything that you can top off. And again, I've done videos on this, so if you guys have an opportunity, please go down and check out all the other content. I think I have over 190 videos now. I've done some playlists. You can look through the playlist, and some may be more, some of those playlists might be more what you're looking for. I've tried to separate my collaboration live streams, my Sunday shift reports, and my late night with Grays, but also like prepper videos, and reviews, prepper and review videos. What else do I have on my thing? I'm gonna do some cleaning up of these playlists as well. But also, I think I have a medical playlist as well that you guys can check out. That might give you some beneficial information as well. So that being said, we're at the end of this. I hopefully that you guys got some value out of this. If you did, can you do me a favor and please give that thumbs up? If there's things that I might have missed or things that you would want to conversate about or want more information about or just want to say hello, drop a comment below. It does help the YouTube algorithm and help get these messages out to the rest of the world as the channel grows and we get these messages about ways to prepare things in the media. There's so many things. I'm going to end up doing something down the road when it comes to a preparedness trailer for the channel. I'm just working on some odds and ends. But anyways, that being said, I don't want to take up too much more of your time. Thank you all for joining me on this thing, and thank you for watching the video in its entirety. I truly appreciate that. I hope all you guys have a wonderful day, and I will see you guys tomorrow, Tuesday night at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on the Grey Exchange. All right? You guys enjoy the rest of your day. God bless.